At this point, I'm pretty convinced that we all live in a simulation and this is just the beginning, and some higher force is trying to experiment and see what our tolerance threshold is gonna be.
Ever since the day that you went away, you went away.
Hi everyone, my name is Andra and I make mostly commentary videos. The next few videos that I'm gonna be making are gonna be vlogs. However, I am gonna be coming back to commentary as soon as something worthwhile happens. So if you are only interested in commentary and you are thinking of subscribing to my channel, do not fret, I'm coming back with commentary. It's not gonna turn into a vlog channel. So please subscribe if you like either of these things, commentary or vlog / life advice. Today's video is gonna be about the return of Anonymous and what has been happening, and Twitter has been on fire. And obviously the people at Twitter have been trying to hide what's going on. There have been over 1 million tweets deleted by Twitter, allegedly. And that is insane to me, how Anonymous came back after 3 years and set the whole world on fire. If you wanna hear my opinion about the protests, then it's gonna be near the end of the video. I don't feel like I am in any position to make a video about this because I'm not American, I'm not a person of color, I am a minority but in a different form, and I do want to stand in solidarity with the black people and with all the minorities that have ever been oppressed. So yes, I have been posting about this on my Instagram constantly, but I feel like if I were to make a new video about this, then I wouldn't really have much to say that hasn't already been said because I'm not an expert in this field. But I'm gonna be sharing my opinion near the end, so if that is important to you when you decide whether you want to subscribe to someone, for me the political and social views of the people that I'm subscribed to do matter to me. So that's why I want to say yes, I will be addressing it, but it's not the topic of this video. This video is going to be mostly about what Anonymous have been saying. So if that is something of interest, please stay tuned. Before that, I want to put up a disclaimer. Something insane has happened today. There have been new cases of Ebola. So, you know, our friend coronavirus is bringing another friend to fight against us, which is like the most insane thing that could have happened. I feel like 2020 is something else entirely. I might be making a video about like 2020 in general, but I just wanted to say that like I've seen the news, it's crazy, and just everything is crazy, to be honest, like what's going on. But I am happy that people are still with their moral compass, let's say, and they still care about other people and they're still fighting for their rights. That is great. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So yesterday Anonymous has released a video after they have been MIA for 3 years.
Officers who kill people and commit other crimes need to be held accountable just like the rest of us, otherwise, they will believe that they have a license to do whatever they want. You will claim that this is just the work of a few bad apples, but what of the officers who stand by and do nothing while they commit offenses against the people they encounter, and the police departments like yours who refuse to prosecute these criminals as they would one of the citizens that they are sworn to protect? People have had enough of this corruption and violence from an organization that promises to keep them safe. After the events of the past few years, many people are now beginning to learn that you are not here to save us, but rather, you are here to oppress us and carry out the will of the criminal ruling class. You are here to keep order for the people in control, not to provide safety for the people who are being controlled. In fact, you are the very mechanism that elites use to continue their global system of oppression, and the world is finally starting to wake up to this, and they are becoming increasingly angry every time they see blood needlessly spilled without consequence. These officers must face criminal charges, and Officer Chauvin especially should face murder charges. Unfortunately, we do not trust your corrupt organization to carry out justice, so we will be exposing your many crimes to the world. We are Legion. Expect us.
They have been campaigning for Black Lives Matter and they have obviously cared about this, and that is what prompted them to come back, as well as the corruption of the Trump administration. Once again, I live in England, not America, but obviously I do know about Trump, everyone knows about it. We have our own mini Trump here, so we are very, very aware of the situations that are going on in America generally with Trump and all the rape allegations against him. I make a lot of videos about rape survivors because I am one myself, so to see that this person has had allegations before that were either just swept under the rug, or the charges were dropped, or they settled. Just a lot of shadiness going on, so I want to address that. Anonymous really came for Trump. They put this like little contact book for Jeffrey Epstein, which, if you know about him, is the guy who allegedly didn't kill himself and has been killed in prison for a trafficking sex ring. So yes, I do think that he has been killed. No, I don't care. Good that this happened, because he was a despicable dirtbag of a human being. He deserves what he had coming for him. And all the memes with how he didn't kill himself, I never understood that. Like, you're talking about it like it matters. He's just a horrible human being. It's good that he's gone. But Anonymous have alleged that Trump is the one who killed him to cover his secrets. So we're gonna get into it. In the PDF document, there have been a lot of people, Donald Trump himself obviously, but also a lot of the people from the royal family, which we already knew about Prince Andrew. I'm gonna be talking about him in detail after I tell you all the names on the list, because that is obviously something that has been known for a while now. So, on the list, there have been names such as actor Alex Baldwin, Tony Blair, who was a politician here, Mike Bloomberg, a businessman, model Naomi Campbell, the Duchess and Duke of York, that is Prince Andrew and his wife, designer Tom Ford, Mick Jagger, the rock legend, some guy named Michael Jackson, who is not the Michael Jackson, but people have been picking on that. I do think Michael was innocent. I do think he was socially inept, and that is why he's been weird with children, and maybe in ways that we don't understand. Yeah, he was inappropriate, but I don't think he knew, because he must have had some mental illnesses from not having a normal childhood and just a very, very abusive household. I do feel like he wanted to relive his childhood, and that's why he surrounded himself with kids, to give them maybe a better life than what he had. So I don't think he sexually abused them, but yeah. PRXO has a really good video about this. I'm gonna be linking it, because I do feel like this whole Michael debate has been just a very tedious thing with all the documentaries and all the times that these people have changed the narrative. I feel like if you believe it, then okay, but there's not really any concludent proof. Some of the people from the Kennedy family as well. I have gone through the names, and some of them are from that family, some of them I haven't found on Google, so one of them is the Senator Edward Kennedy, so take that with a pinch of salt, I guess. Business magnate Bernie Ecclestone, Courtney Love, who allegedly killed Kurt Cobain as well, so we don't know what else she was involved in. Some of the Rothschilds, Carlos Souza from Valentino, Kevin Spacey, some of the Trumps, including his ex-wife, his daughter, and some other people from Trump management. Harvey Weinstein's brother, but not Harvey Weinstein himself, which I thought was very interesting, because we all know who Harvey Weinstein is, another dirtbag. And some people who are related to the royal family, Tim and Helen Windsor-Taylor, so obviously Windsor is the name of the royal family, so they are related to Lizzie, our amazing queen. I'm just joking. So these are a few of the people. I have actually gone through the whole document. I don't know if I have got everyone who is a public person. Maybe there's some people that I haven't heard about, but I did try to be as meticulous as possible with this. So bear in mind, this is a contact list. So not all of these people are involved with what that horrible human being has done. Just bear in mind that it might be that some people were actually working with his legitimate business and not with this other business of trafficking people. So I do believe that some of them have been aware of this, because the list is like 40 something pages at this point. Out of all these people, it's very hard for me to believe that some of them didn't know, especially the Kennedys, because of the whole shadiness with President Kennedy and Marilyn Monroe. People think that him and his brother killed her because she knew about some shady stuff related to sex trafficking. So I don't know what I believe about that, but that is something to consider, because there are big families, the royal family, the Kennedys, the Rothschilds. All these are big families that I don't think they didn't know about this. Obviously Weinsteins are all shady, and I do believe that Harvey's brother must have known about what Harvey was doing. So yes, I do think that these people, some of them were involved, some of them may not have been, but I don't think the whole list is just innocent people, is pretty much what I'm saying. They have also doxed Trump by showing his phone number and his social security number. They said they are investigating on whether these are accurate, but apparently people have been trying to call the phone number and go straight to voicemail. And we do know that the White House has been on blackout for a few hours. All the lights were turned off. So we do think that obviously Trump is afraid of what's going on with the protests and with this. There is also a lawsuit against Epstein and Trump, which is public information. I have checked the validity of it. It's everywhere on the internet. It's about Trump and Epstein sexually assaulting an underage girl. I'm not gonna be reading it, but I'm gonna be putting some bits on the screen for you to see if you wanna pause and read it. I want to take a moment for the people who have alleged that Trump has been sexually abusing or raping them. I'm going to be putting the names on the screen, as well as the information about this and all the settlements that the Trump administration has made, or that Trump's business has made with these people to hide the truth. So now I'm gonna be getting into more detail about the whole royal family thing and what Anonymous has said. They have alleged that Princess Diana has been killed because she knew stuff about the sex trafficking and rapes that were being covered by the royal family. I have always thought that something was shady about her death, and to see this, that there are so many people saying it and they don't think that it's a conspiracy, I do think that there is some truth to that. I don't know how much, but if I die after this video is being published, just know I live in England, so just know that something happened here. Anyways, so I'm gonna be summing up all the shadiness that has happened in the royal family, because I feel like that warrants its own video, but this is gonna be quite a big segment, so just bear with me if you care about this kind of stuff. A cousin of Queen Elizabeth has been involved in organized child rape and torture in Belfast, Ireland, and he has been killed by the IRA in relation to this. A royal staff member has groomed an 11-year-old child, promising them rides around the Buckingham Palace, and she was raped by him, and they covered it up. When Jeffrey Epstein's trial had started, he's been questioned about Prince Andrew and he refused to answer even though he was under oath. So if that doesn't say that he was involved, I don't know what says it. Another thing to add is that Prince Andrew has been seen at Epstein's manor on multiple occasions, with bodyguards being there as well and kind of hiding him and what was going on. Allegedly there were children partying there with the adults, so obviously there's a lot of things that if you put them together, they are a lot shadier than a separate incident. I do believe that there's a lot of stuff going on at Buckingham Palace that we don't know about. I am doing this in many takes and not just continuously speaking, because obviously it's a very, very heavy subject and it's hard for me to just recount all this from memory. There's a lot of details that are quite troubling for me. So I'm trying to provide as much concise information as I can and not get carried away. Buckingham Palace has refused to acknowledge this, and they said that they think it's absurd. If that doesn't say much to you, I'll just let you know that yesterday there have been new articles on the news with Prince Andrew saying that he's not coming back to the royal family because initially he was supposed to abandon his duties to the royal family temporarily for an indefinite amount of time, and now he's saying he's never coming back after what happened yesterday, after all this news broke. So I do believe that that is an admission of guilt. So why was Diana allegedly killed? Apparently she had testimony of a survivor. So about this tape that Diana allegedly had in her possession, the following is said. A missing tape last seen in the possession of Paul Burrell contains evidence of an alleged rape within the royal household which police were not informed of at the time. It emerged yesterday that the 30-minute tape, which has now disappeared, details claims by a royal servant who says he was raped twice by a man who works closely with Prince Charles. One of the incidents was said to have taken place in Egypt, the other at the royal palace. The alleged victim, who was being paid less than £10,000 a year, is understood to have left the royal household with a £30,000 payoff. But police believe that the tape is potential dynamite, and if it ever emerged, it could severely embarrass the royal household. The recording was made by Princess Diana, who secretly taped the alleged victim as he was recovering from his ordeal at the Priory Clinic in Roehampton, southwest London. The princess kept the tape in a mahogany box at Kensington Palace, along with highly sensitive letters and a ring given to her by James Hewitt. The tape was heard by Mr. Burrell and Diana's sister, Lady Sarah, shortly after the princess died. But when Lady McCorquodale asked Mr. Burrell for the box to be returned to her, the tape and the other items were missing. Mr. Burrell denies having them and has claimed that they disappeared from the butler's pantry. Though detectives cannot find the missing tape, they were told by Lady McCorquodale that it contains an account of the alleged rapes. So this is what Anonymous has pretty much brought to light now, that they do think, or they lead us to believe that they have more evidence that this is true. So I hope that a lot more comes to light about this and about Trump and all the other people involved in possible human trafficking, especially of underage people. I just want to add as well, there has been an image circulating with Epstein, Trump, and an underage girl, which people are using as evidence. I do think that's his daughter though, so I don't know. She looks like Ivanka, so obviously I do think Trump is guilty of a lot of things, but I don't think we should be spreading false information and fabricating evidence by photoshopping old pictures with him and his daughter, because that's not gonna help. That's never gonna hold in a court of law, so you're more so doing yourself a disservice saying these things. Other noteworthy things about the royal family's history of suspicious things are their association with different Nazi things, such as obviously Prince Philip, his family has been associated with Nazi, his sisters, either one or both of them were married with SS officers, and we know that that is factual information. There's also proof of Queen Elizabeth when she was a child, alongside her family giving the Nazi salute. Obviously she was a child, so I'm not saying that she was a Nazi at the time, because she wouldn't even know what a Nazi means when she was age 10 or something. But it proves that that kind of stuff runs in the family and they are problematic people. And obviously the royal system is very archaic and it shouldn't exist anymore. A lot of people in England are saying this, but yeah. There are also some pictures of Prince Harry being dressed as a Nazi officer with the swastika here, and apparently he got in some trouble from his family for that. But I feel like the fact that he thought that this is okay to do only implies that the family is educating the people to do stuff like this. And there's also a history of racism and xenophobia in the family, most notably with Philip himself, saying things like that Beijing is a ghastly place. He said to a British student in China, if you stay here much longer, you will go home with slitty eyes, referring to the Asian people's eyes. He talked to a British person who was on holiday in Budapest in Hungary, telling them, you can't have been here that long, you haven't got a pot belly. Some children with hearing disabilities who were standing near a Caribbean steel drum band were told by Prince Philip that if they are near this band, no wonder they are deaf, in the condition that they had hearing disabilities already. When describing a fuse box he saw while touring a Scottish factory in 1999, he said that it looks as though it was put in by an Indian. And then he later corrected himself, saying I meant to say cowboys. I got my cowboys and Indians mixed up. When meeting with President Barack Obama, he asked him if he can tell the difference between the leaders of China, Russia and the UK. And there are many more receipts on him. He is a raging racist, everyone in England knows this. There are news articles about this, there's just a lot of proof. If you want to Google like Prince Philip racism, you're gonna find a lot. So yes, I do believe that the royal family is guilty of some things. I don't know if it's to this crazy extent, but I do think they still have the colonialist mindset that they once had. I don't think they have changed much. And the last thing that they had done is publishing all the emails and the passwords of the people from the Minneapolis police station, which I thought was so funny because some of them had garbage passwords. I have blurred out the emails. They are still on the internet. I don't want to dox anyone because I don't want my video taken down. I do think they deserve to be doxed, but I want this video to stay, to spread some information about this. Obviously it's all alleged, it's all conspiracy theory at this point, but I do believe that some of it is true. So I thought that to make this video a little bit more light-hearted, because it's all like heavy topics, we're gonna make fun of the passwords of some of these people. Someone literally had the password Minneapolis. Someone else had a password driver. Someone had a password Halloween. Someone else had many stories as the password. Someone had banana 88, which, oh my god, I don't want to know the context of that. And yes, there was someone whose password was password. I could have hacked this without any hacking software, but whatever. The last thing that I'm going to be addressing, as I said, I'm going to be talking about what I think about the protests. I do believe that it's amazing that people are finally waking up to the injustices of the world. I have always cared about this kind of things. I've always spoke about this. I cannot go to any protests in England, unfortunately, because I am still applying for work as an interpreter in hospitals, and I don't want to catch the virus and then transmit it in hospitals. I would be too terrified of doing that, but I am trying my best to sign in petitions, sharing, doing anything I can to help within my own capacities. I do think that raising awareness is enough if you cannot do more, but don't do it by sharing just hashtags or that stupid chain of, tag 10 people. Like, don't make it about you. Just make it about what's happening. And as I said, I'm happy that people have started to care. I just hope that it sticks. I hope that after, hopefully, things get resolved, to some extent at least, people don't forget that this happened. And then don't go back to being ignorant like they were before. Because I know people, personally, who have been discriminating other minorities, and now they are posting Black Lives Matter. And obviously I am very happy that they are opening their eyes to something. I do hope that this means that they're gonna be more tolerant to other people. And I understand the urgency of talking about this one issue now. And some people cannot focus on multiple issues. That's perfectly acceptable. But I do hope that eventually people will branch out and talk about the other injustices in the world, because there's so many. We talk about Palestine, Syria, Yemen, Brazil, Hong Kong, the concentration camps in China with Muslims being trapped there. A lot of stuff going on in the world that is obviously not just all the LGBT oppression. Like, I hope that this has opened people's eyes on the importance of us acting now and protecting the people who need protection. And I do hope that the people who are doing this just to stay on the trend of being woke and sharing this because everyone else is, I hope that these people have actually learned something from this and they will continue to do so, and I hope that this experience has changed people. And obviously I hope for a good resolution. That is the main conclusion. I am 100% standing with this and I'm raising awareness and I'm trying to do my part. And yes, Black Lives Matter, obviously. If this is not what you wanted to hear, I don't know what to tell you. Hopefully I have expressed myself in a way that has encapsulated everything that I wanted to say. This was today's video. Please let me know in the comments below what you think is gonna happen with this anonymous thing. Do you think it was all a hoax? Do you think some of it was real? Do you think all of it was real? Just please let me know. If you wanna see any more commentary, or I would actually be willing to do more like conspiracy theory style video. I'm an Aquarius, so I love that kind of shit. So please let me know if you have any suggestion for a future video, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and stay safe and Black Lives Matter.